Hi everyone, it's Felix, and welcome to another video. Today we're diving into the crucial components of training sustainability and nutrition, which are vital for achieving peak performance in calisthenics. Whether you're aiming to master advanced calisthenics skills or optimize your strength gains, understanding how to properly train for longevity and fuel your body is key to sustained progress. I'll be sharing effective prehab strategies, dietary tips, and insights to help you maximize your training results and keeping your body in top condition. After all, the best athletes are not those who train the hardest, but rather those who can keep training without getting injured. As a calisthenics athlete, injury may almost be inevitable, especially if you are training competitively. So in order to minimize injury, you will want to consider including prehab into your routines, because prehab work is focused on preventing injuries. This is mostly helpful when you predict an injury potentially occurring. Maybe you are experiencing clicking or cracking in the joints. In most cases for calisthenics athletes, this will be the shoulder joint. These exercises will mostly be channeled towards activating your weak areas, such as the rotator cuff, for added shoulder stability. Or if you have structural imbalances and experiencing painful clicking in a portion of your shoulder, you may want to perform scapular stabilization exercises, such as scapular depression, elevation, protraction, and retraction with a resistance band. Chances are that these muscle groups will be related to your main training routine, so you could also use prehab exercises as a warm-up to each individual training session. However, do not exhaust your stabilization muscles, since it will hinder your ability to perform your compound movements. For example, in the context of front lever, try not to exhaust your rhomboids by doing excessive banded retraction exercises, because you will need them for your front lever holds. You will always want to maximize the amount of volume you can get with the exercise of interest. Prehab is just to keep injuries at bay, hence why I would also recommend that you should perform most of your prehab work after a training session rather than before. Another scenario where prehab is useful is when you have already been injured before, and after recovery the area remains vulnerable. Prehab would be a good way to prevent re-injury of the area. For example, if you once had anterior shoulder issues, you may want to consider performing retractive exercises as part of your prehab workout to mitigate the imbalance that caused those injuries in the first place. Or if you have had rotator cuff pain due to the elbow flares and a festo, you may want to strengthen those muscles with external and internal rotation exercises using a resistance band. However, keep in mind that prehab work should not be very strenuous, as that is not the intention of this kind of work, and you could potentially re-injure the area trying to do so. Therefore, keep it to high repetitions and low intensity. Ultimately, keeping good structural balance and good form during exercise, as well as handling intensity well, is what will contribute mostly towards keeping injuries at bay. If you are a calisthenics athlete, you may be tempted to think that by losing weight, you will be lighter, and therefore making skills easier to perform. Remember that strength is mostly neurological, and partially muscle cross-sectional area. Obviously, having excessive fat is detrimental to your progress, but having extremely low levels of body fat will not contribute to strength. In fact, by having a sufficient amount of fat, you are providing your body with the energy to build muscle, and that will help improve strength, while at the same time lose that fat in the process. This means you will want to consume a good amount of healthy carbs and fats, preferably a few hours prior to a training session, so that glucose has time to reach your muscles, in which you can use directly for energy in your workouts, therefore allowing you to attain higher volume and even better skill form. The amount of carbs you consume, or the amount of sleep you get, will vary depending on which part of the cycle you are on, and what kind of cycle you are on. For example, if you are on an intense section of your planche cycle, chances are your body will require a lot of carbs and sleep to repair from the damages and replenish energy in your muscles. You will want to maintain a good body fat percentage between 10 to 20% to not be at a disadvantage compared to other athletes. Take a scan if you must. It is important to know your body well. It is also typically recommended that you consume 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight on a daily basis if your goals in calisthenics are strength and hypertrophy. This is to maximize muscle repair and growth that will in turn result in increased strength. Note that muscle protein synthesis has a limit, so excessive protein intake will not be beneficial to your progress. I want to give a shout out to EFITLESS, UltimateAU, Saiyan Squad, and Gornation, for the clothing, equipment and accessories provided here today in this video. EFITLESS is an NZ calisthenics brand and provides calisthenics clothing and accessories. UltimateAU is an Australian calisthenics brand and provides calisthenics equipment, clothing, accessories, and hosts Australasian-wide calisthenics competitions. Saiyan Squad is an Australian calisthenics team that has competed in multiple calisthenics competitions all over Australasia. And Gornation is arguably the world's largest calisthenics equipment and clothing provider. Before we end this video, if you are interested in personal training, please fill in the Google form in my bio. I will also drop the link in the description of this video. And follow me on Instagram at Felix_NG2K03. That is where I post a lot of my calisthenics content. And if you're keen to see a tutorial for another calisthenics skill, drop a comment below and I'll see what I can put together. I love you all and thanks for watching.